want to thank you for stopping by the channel tonight and checking out the live stream if you happen to be here live. I'm not rocking any shades tonight because we're going to be going over a lot of information, and I'm going to need to be able to read this stuff and can't do it with the sunglasses. But if you're stopping in for the very first time, my name is Chuck, and on this channel we deal with everything Corvette. So whether or not we're out with the Vet Club doing some events, or I'm showing you guys some how-tos, or we're talking about news like the new ZR1 and how many are going to be built. Guys, hey, gotta love the Corvette stuff. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let a few more people start getting in here. YouTube's starting to let everybody know, hey, Chuck's on live. Go check him out. Let's talk about the ZR1. So all of you guys, as you're rolling in here, how's it going? Let's see, everybody's in here. Moses is in the house. Detailed Ninja is here. Guys, thank you for stopping in this Tuesday night. We've got Mark, of course, my man Peter, the man of very few words, of course. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into it. I've got a lot of information. This is going to be an action-packed 15 minutes because we're going to go over several things. Of course, how many ZR1s are going to be built. We now know, well, roughly how many are going to be built. GM, according to our good buddy Rick Corvette Conti over at, make sure if you guys follow me and you guys are into Corvettes, what Rick's channel, and again, just go to YouTube, rickcorvetteconti.com, or not even .com, that's his website, I think, but just his YouTube channel. He's a great subscribe if you guys just want to know what's going on in the marketplace. I mean, he's a YouTuber, but he also sells Corvettes. So make sure you're following him. But he gave us a little bit of a nugget the other day in one of his videos. But then I called him up, we talked a little bit, and he gave me just one more little piece of bit information I think is really important. We do know that the ZR1 sales are going to be based off, as far as allocations, were based upon how many Z06s a dealership sold from October 1st, 2016 through the end of October 2017. Now, in the midst of that, you had two different years being built. You had 2017s, and then later on in April of this year, you had the 2018s that started rolling out. So this is kind of weird how GM is doing this as far as the numbers. So what I wanted to show you, I've got the whiteboard out. Hey, we're gonna look at some numbers. So I want to look at 2015, which is the very first year that GM built the Z06. They built 8,653 Z06s the very first year, okay? Number 16, year 16. This is the big year. This is the big year everybody bought the Z06s. That's what the Black Mamba is. She's a 2016. They sold a whopping 14,275. So 14,275 is how many they sold in 2016. 2017, they sold 7,273 Z06s. So we're up to, what, 273. So that would mean over a 3-year period, they sold 30,201 Z06s. And that's just Z06s. That doesn't include Stingrays. Now, the 2017 year, the reason why it fell in half as far as how many Z06s were made, that was because, of course, that was the year that the Grand Sport came out. And the Grand Sport gave a lot of guys the ability to get a car that looked just like a Z06, but not have to worry about the power, not have to worry about, the power. Because whether you like it or not, guys, there are people out there that love Corvette, but they don't need 800 horsepower. They don't need to beat their chest and say, I've got all this underneath the hood. They just enjoy the cruises. They just enjoy getting out and enjoying the cars. So the Grand Sport was a huge hit during the 2017 year. So if we take a look at let's take 17 as pretty close to how many were sold for a full calendar year from October 1st, 2016, all the way through the end of this past October, as far as Corvette Z06 sales. Now, dealerships like Rick, that was a year he probably sold a lot of Stingrays. Rick, you might be able to tell us what, I seen you in here a while ago, were you selling a lot of Stingrays, Grand Sports during that time? So again, the allocations, the way GM has kind of done this, I understand and I agree with Rick. They want to reward those salesmen that have high track enthusiasts that buy from them, but at the same time, it wasn't really based upon Corvette sales. So if we take the year 2017 and we divide that by 2, we come down to 3,637. 3,637, that's going to be our best guess on how many ZR1s are going to be built. I think it's going to be close to probably 3,500. So what does that tell me? That tells me this. When I called and talked to Rick, I told him, hey, I know you said in your video you don't have a ton of allocations of these. And I called one of my local dealers here. Great. They support our club. They're actually our chief sponsor, Jim Glover Chevrolet here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I talked to Jared, and he said, Chuck, we can do this. So what I'm going to be doing is so that Rick doesn't have to give me one of his allocations, instead of giving that to me and not giving that to one of his long-standing customers, I've forfeited mine back to him, even though we kind of talked and had the understanding that we were going to work together on this. And we're both kind of bummed about not being able to maybe work together with this. But the way GM is rolling this out, hey, that's just how it is. So the question for me is this, guys. It's not about if I'm getting a ZR1, it's when I'm going to get a ZR1. A lot of you guys, I've been getting text messages, emails from people saying, Chuck, I've already got mine sold. Or I've already got my order. They've got their order number, all those types of things. So some dealers are already typing these guys in and going after it. So my dealer, I'm going to be in line. As soon as I'm ready to go, I can go down and we can get this thing ordered and go from there. So some of you guys are worried about, hey, is there going to be enough cars going around? There are going to be dealerships all over this country that, number one, they don't even know how many allocations they have. They've got the letter. They haven't really publicized the ZR1. They haven't went after it. And, they're going to, like, people are walking in, hey, I want to buy a ZR1. Oh, well, do we have any ZR1s? So there's going to be a lot of people out there that have sold, 6 ZR1 or 6 Z06s, and they've got 3 allocations and don't even realize it. And so as this year goes on, guys like Rick, other people out there will be able to, you're going to be able to get your hands on one of these cars if you want one. Is this going to be more than 1 year build? I'm going to say yes. I think it's going to be this year and next year. I don't think it's just going to be a 1 year deal. I mean, why else would they come out with a convertible? They're doing automatic. They're doing, the manual. They haven't done that in past generations. It's always just been a manual. And so, I think that this year, the way they've done that, it's going to be a 2 year deal. So even though there's a mass rush, it's like everybody on Black Friday's ready to get into Walmart and buy grocery or buy toys or Best Buy or something like that. Guys, if you do not get one right away, don't sweat it. If you have a Z06, you're going to be, or maybe you've got a Grand Sport and you're thinking about maybe getting a ZR1 and maybe you end up just going with a Z06. I want to read you just a little bit from the Car and Driver. And this was a quote that Taj, who is the chief engineer of GM, I liked what he said in this, because he gave the definition of what the ZR1 really was, or what it's really defined for. And he says this, it's on page 25 if you happen to have it. He says the ZR1 might be the ultimate track car, or the ultimate track Corvette, but its creators don't see it as being the craziest one. Craziest one. That title still belongs to the Z06. Their goal with the ZR1, Taj says, was to have the performance accessible, to have people who are not necessarily professional drivers be able to get into a car that has 750 horsepower and take it to its limits and yet feel comfortable doing so. That's what a ZR1 is for. The Z06, I've talked to so many guys who track these cars, and yeah, there's been a thing out there talking about overheating and those different things. I've talked to guys that say, man, I go through two weekends out at the track. I don't have any issues with heat soak or limp mode or anything like that. And then there are other people that have had that situation. So I don't know if it's just isolated to maybe a bad parts during a certain time of build or whatever. But, the Z06 is a great track car if that's what you want to do with it. With the Z07 package, all of those types of things, it's an amazing car. And, you know, one thing about the ZR1 and what it's really designed to do is let you test the boundaries of your abilities and keep you on the road. I mean, this thing, if the Z06 had the same type of aero package that the ZR1 has, the Z06 would be the best buy. If you could get a wing on the back, if you could get the bigger, you know, the bigger splitter on the front, all those types of things, this would be an amazing car. And yes, it's not a ZR1. Yes, it's not the Rolex of Corvette, but it's still an amazing car. Now, guys, if you have not watched, I'm going to give a little plug for one of my own videos. If you haven't watched this past Saturday's video, if you're watching this on the playback, I'm going to put a little card right here. Click on that, finish watching it, or watch that video and come back. But if you didn't watch Saturday's video, you missed all I got. So definitely go check out that video. It was the LA Auto Show. I gave my best effort. It took me 10 hours to edit the video. I think you guys will enjoy it if you haven't saw it. It was just cars galore. It was sensory overload. I think you'll enjoy it if you haven't seen it so far. Now, I'm going to have 3 links below. I am going to have a link. Of course, Hennessy. The paint isn't even dried yet on the ZR1, and they've already got 3 packages out. Want to take it to 850 horsepower, 1,000 and 1,200. It's just crazy. And also, there's going to be Corvette Blogger. They were talking about the LT5, about GM while they were engineering the ZR1. Before they stuck the Eaton supercharger on the LT5, it actually made 865 horsepower, which is more than the Demon. But yet, when they put the supercharger on it, it dumbed it down 110. Now, I'm going to let you read the article and let that just spin around in your head a little bit, that GM actually had a ZR1 that had 865 horsepower, and they dumbed it down with the larger supercharger, because that new supercharger spins at less RPMs than the Z06 does. I think the Z06 is like 20,000 RPM, and the ZR1 is like 15,000 RPM, so a lot less heat being generated there. I'll have that linked below. Also, the Corvette Forum guys have released a great article on the C8 and how they see the pricing on the C8. Now, these guys have been pretty good. They were almost spot on with the ZR1. They said between 120 and 130, and they were really, really close. So I'm going to have that also linked below once I get through talking with you guys. So again, guys, if you're just now stopping in, we're looking at probably around 3,500 ZR1s being allocated out this year. And again, if you haven't, you know, maybe Rick's your guy and he didn't have any right now, give him some time. I think this is all going to shake down. I think all the marbles are going to begin to roll where they need to go, and allocations will be there, especially as we get into spring driving time. There's going to be dealers saying, hey, I don't want this car, or I'm going to give this to someone else. So I think you'll be able to get that. Someone did ask me a question. You know, Chuck, you said you were going to go from a Z06 to a ZR1. Is it really worth 60 grand? Is it really worth going and selling the Black Mamba and getting 68 for her, or trading her in and getting that, and then buying another car that's 140,000? Is it? No. I mean, you can say it as a Corvette enthusiast, no, it's not worth it. But let me just say this, my second favorite car, if I could buy any car, would be the Porsche GT3 RS. You know, to me, that is such an amazing, not only track car, it's a sexy car. I like that car. And, you know, that car decked out is a $210,000, $215,000 car at 500 horsepower. Yeah, it's 500 pounds less than a Z06 or a ZR1, but it's still a beautiful car. So when you look at it in, you know, track cars, whether it's a Huracan, whether it's a Performante, or whether it's, you know, names of cars I can't even pronounce that are $800,000 and plus $1,000, the ZR1 is still a great value at 140 grand. Yes, could you take a Z06 and change out, you know, send it to Lingenfelder, send it to Callaway, send it to somewhere and get it up to the same horsepower? Yes, you could. But you know what? You can go down and you can buy a watch at Walmart, and you look down at it, it's going to tell you the time. And you can have a $50,000 Rolex on your wrist, and you can look down and it's going to tell you the exact same time. But you know what? This isn't this. And even though I love my Z06, and even though I love the Grand Sports, I love the Stingrays, I love all Corvettes, my dream has always been to own a ZR1. And so that's why, guys, I am going to be making the decision to buy a ZR1. I will be getting rid of the Black Mamba. She's been a beautiful car. She's been a great car to me. No problems. I haven't had one issue with her. And I know she's going to make an amazing car for someone. But I'm looking forward to bringing the ZR1 to the channel. And then working with my local dealer, again, Jared with Jim Glover Chevrolet, and taking you guys with me as we do the order process, as we sit down, we figure out exactly what color I'm going with, what's the interior going to be. We're gonna vlog all that, so you guys are gonna be able to come along for the entire process, pick up, delay, all of it. You know, coatings, and we'll get into more and more stuff as we go forward. But guys, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I hope you guys are having a great week. You know, this is Tuesday. I love these Tuesday live streams. You know, I don't know. Yes, we got some people crying over the Black Mamba being you guys, hey, one thing about YouTube is we've always got her memories. So definitely competition seats for sure. The comments are blowing through here now. But guys, I do enjoy the live stream. I like getting in here with you guys because it's different from creating a video and editing it and all this. This is more me. You guys get to, you know, come in here and us talk, me read some of your comments. YouTube is just crazy right now. I mean, I don't know. Rick had a video that didn't upload right and nobody's seen it. Cars, Cost, and Technology, my guy Robert, creates great content, put up a video yesterday, nobody's watched it. People just aren't being notified of anything, and unfortunately with you guys' comments here, I'm not seeing that either. So guys, in the comments below, hey, I showed you my shirt earlier. I was actually contacted by a company about Corvette Stuff. They said, hey, let me send you some product, you test it out, maybe we'll get together, we'll create a merch line. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, some type of Corvette logo with some Corvettes918 stuff on it, make sure you let me know down in the comments. Smash the like button on this video. We got 72 likes right now. We got 220 people in here. Come on now, let's hit the like button. If this video gets to 500 likes, which is easy for you guys to do, I'm gonna give one of these away. So all you got to do is go down after this is over, drop a comment, like the video, and then when this gets to 500, probably be 500 by tonight. I will then go in here in a couple of days, do an auto draw, and one of you guys who post a comment, I'm going to send you one of these shirts. I like it. It's kind of a, I don't know. It's pretty cool. But guys, we're way past my time of 15 minutes. We're at 17:57, almost 18. So guys, I want to say I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you, and I hope each and every one of you have a blessed week. I'll see you guys on Saturday.